So welcome to the Mindfulness Broadcast. I'm Tiffany with Evolutionary Consulting, and this is our 16th episode, and I'm really happy to just continue doing it. It's a wonderful place to be at 1 o'clock on a Tuesday, so I am just happy to keep going. Today, I wanted to talk about our thoughts about mindfulness. So, as a professional life coach, I get the opportunity to work with people all day long about making intentional change. And that means that I'm talking about mindfulness all day long. And I'm getting the opportunity to introduce a lot of people to mindfulness or help people strengthen their practice. And so it's not uncommon for me to hear first, some excitement about mindfulness. So many of us know about mindfulness, but we haven't really started a practice or we don't know how. And so there's that excitement, like, yeah, I do want to do this. I know what it is. I just, I've been intimidated by it. And then when we connect after a few weeks, what I often find is, I just couldn't do it. I couldn't find the right time. My kids were interrupting. I couldn't get away. My head wouldn't stop thinking. I could only do it for 5 minutes, and I think I should do it for 30 minutes. There were like all these expectations surrounding the practice. And so I like to just remind people that mindfulness it can be so many things. It can be one really intentional breath, and it can also be a day-long retreat. So it's anywhere in between. And so allowing ourselves to just be in our practice regardless of how we show up in our practice, and allowing that the only expectation is that my brain will fight me on this, and that there is a training process that has to happen. And so reminding ourselves of that. And so as long as I'm showing up, I've won. I've done it. The other thing that I know is helpful is that having something for our monkey mind to latch onto to help guide through a practice. So using a model, or like our breath as a model, or counting, or using our sensations as a model, I think are really helpful. I think about that a lot. Like if I want to work out and I go into a gym and there's all this equipment and I don't exactly know. I know if I use it, it's good, but I don't know how to use it, and I'm a little afraid of it, and I'm intimidated by it. And I think mindfulness can be that way as well. I know it's good for me. I know I want to do it, but when I sit down in pure silence, I get a little intimidated and my mind takes over. And so I want to guide you through a practice today that I think is just a really great model. It's remarkably simple. And it allows us to just go, this is what I'm going to do in my practice. Here, monkey mind, here is something to chew on to kind of guide us through this practice. And so it's 3 parts. It's called ABC. I was going to write it down in the chat. Maybe I'll do it as I'm explaining it to you if you want to catch it. So the first A is accept, B is breathing, and C is core. And, you could spend 30 seconds on each of these, a minute on each of these, 3 minutes on each of these, depending on how much time you have. So, it could be as tiny as, just a quick 90-second practice. And I'll guide you through this as well. So when you're ready, go ahead and close your eyes or take a soft gaze. And I encourage people, if closing your eyes doesn't allow you to feel safe, I encourage you just to try that soft gaze. Sometimes when we close our eyes, our mind gets very, very busy, and it can go in places that doesn't feel safe, and it makes a mindfulness practice really difficult. Taking a soft gaze works just as well. So we take that soft gaze. We feel our body. Just feeling its, what I call invitations, kind of scanning and observing and seeing where your body is inviting your attention. Just observing it again without any story attached to it. And so we're going to start this A now, this awareness, this first part. And we're going to spend a few moments here. Part of it, I'll be quiet. And in this first practice, we're really just beginning to be aware of my inner state and my outer state. And there's lots of ways I could do that. So I can use my five senses as a guide here. What do I feel? What do I smell? What do I hear? That's a guide for your mind through awareness. You can start with an inner practice moving out or an outer practice moving in. So, what am I feeling inside of my body? What am I feeling on my body? And what am I experiencing outside of my body? So, again, it might be sounds or temperature. You might also do just a body scan, going from head to toe, just observing. And in all of this, we want to focus on the quality of the sensation. Our minds are story-making machines, and so they want to drift off into story. So, for example, if I sense that I have a headache, it's very easy for me to then think about why I have the headache and then how I feel about that why, and I'm off and running, and I'm no longer present. And so I'm focusing on the quality. Is it pounding? Is it searing? Is it in my neck or behind my eyes? Now we'll bring our awareness to our breathing. This is the B in the ABC. And without changing your breathing pattern, without forcing a breathing pattern, just allowing it to do what it's doing, you are just aware of it. I often describe this as following ocean waves, following your breath, following that wave as it comes to shore, and then following as it retreats. You might say, I am breathing in, I am breathing out. And as your mind wanders, which it will, you just lovingly bring it back to the breath. There's no judgment, there's no shame in having a mind that wanders. It's happening for all of us. We just observe it and we go back to I am breathing in, I am breathing out. And then finally, we bring our attention to our core, the C of ABC. And so you'll bring your attention to your chest, your abdomen, the core of your body, your solar plexus. And if you can, really visualize a light source, an energy source in that place. This place of our heartbeat and of our breath. It's a source of life. Visualize that in your chest. And then allow it to grow, moving up your throat and out through the crown of your head and beyond. And allow it to grow down through your pelvis and your legs and your feet and deep into the earth. And again, in this process of visualizing, see what you notice or how you want to create it. So is there a color to this light? Is there a sound to this energy? Is there a movement? Observe any resistance to this. Observe how your mind might disconnect or begin to label. Just notice it and then come back to the practice. It's just the way our brain tells us it feels a little vulnerable. And now bring your energy back into just that spot on your solar plexus. And then allow it to encompass your whole physical being. Feel your body. Feel how gravity is with us and on us. How it grounds us. How we are here and present. And when you're ready, open your eyes or bring your gaze back up. Thank you. Thank you so much. ABC, accept. I'm sorry, that should be awareness, not accept. I'll put that in this. Aware, breathing, and core. Practice your ABCs. Be well, everybody. Thanks. I'll see you next week, 1 p.m. Bye.